I hope everything's working. I didn't check. I didn't do any voice checks. I didn't do any mic checks. Wait, what mic am I using? Okay, it is using RTX voice. Cool! That's working, but I'm probably poofing out of to existence doing that. Pray to God I don't get anything. But hey guys, Matt Waits here. Welcome to Truck and Talk Fridays because it's Friday. At least today, by the time I'm doing this for live stream. Probably going to be doing a short stream because I'm still kind of tired, still recovering from a lot of things that happened at work. Second week, because it's been crazy. Like, it legit has been a bit crazy. We've been doing a lot of training and whatnot of learning how to use the software. Not really learning how to use the software, actually. No, that's a lie. I have been using the software. But at the same time, for me, trying to learn everything about business and accounting, that has been not fun. But at the same time, it's been okay because, well, at least I'm learning, right? So I think with that, I'm going to do a short trip. I might not go to Oakland, but then I am, like, over there. I don't want to do something like Santa Cruz. Ooh. I just want to do a basic drive. Yeah, sure, let's go with that. Also, I'm hoping my fan is not blowing again, but, you know, it's my fan, so... nope. I don't know which any of my buttons are. There we go. Oh, God. Nope. Starting off swell, and I don't have any gas. All out of ass. I mean, all out of gas. Okay, I'm gonna get gas before I pick this up. But yeah, no, I've been pretty busy. Hopefully you guys haven't been too busy. Nope. I didn't make it. I didn't make it. Here we go. This is gonna take me some time. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna do what I did last week and just drive with 2 feet. Put using the 2 pedals with my 2 feet. You know, I'm not driving manual. I don't know why I actually have this on the gear shift. But I'm not even driving manual in the first place. But yeah, no, work has been very busy. Really, really busy. Learning a lot of stuff, and my brain is kind of fried, actually. I think about it. Wee, wrong way. Oh, shit. Jesus. I can drive. I promise I can drive. I won't drive well, but I promise I can drive. But yeah, just learning a lot of things. So I'm like kind of brain dead right now after 5 days straight of just learning stuff. But I've also had the time to finally go into the office this week. It's been pretty interesting, to say the least, because Jesus, I don't know how to drive, guys. Ayuda. Enter. But I was able to go to the office this week because I was able to get a key card 2 weeks ago, and I've been wanting to visit the office. I just didn't visit the office the first week because I was kind of scared. But this time around, I finally got into the office, finally experience working in that office, which has been nice. And especially since most of them are still working at home. The office is like pretty quiet, like really, really quiet. Okay. Oh, I turned off my engine. Nice. Office has been very quiet, so it's like we've I think at most 10 people in the office, which is like pretty nice and chill just to do my module trainings and do a couple of my demos. Yeah, I didn't know that I signed up for a job where even as tech support you have to showcase a demo of using this product and using all the features of the software, which has been very, very interesting. I didn't expect that I need to have a talking voice in this position. Well, I mean, like, outside of, like, usual customers who are like, hi, thank you for calling, blah, 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 blah. But this is, like, where you have to be very convincing, very, using your words properly. Oh, shoot. Popo in behind me. Okay. I'm gonna just try. I feel weird sitting up. Like, I feel way too up with this wheel compared to what I had it last time. But yeah, no, I had 2 presentations this week. I'm just gonna go for it, guys. But 2 presentations this week, presenting online. I just did it with our team rather than the whole class, which thank God because I was not ready to present to a team of 40 people or a class of 40 people, but I was able to just present with the leader and two other people, which is not too bad. Still, I didn't, oddly enough, I didn't have stage fright, which is like, I think because I worked at Census and I was able to talk to a lot of people and also do training, like being a trainer. I got very comfortable talking to people compared to I'd say before before I had my census job because I'd say if I did the same thing now, but I didn't have the census experience or like talking experience with people, um, I'd probably be words. I'd probably be a bumbling mess in terms of Jesus, in terms of just trying to talk. Well, granted, I'm still a bumbling mess talking here right now, but um, I'm just having like compared definitely with this demo and the past two demos, I was able to like speak without issue. Even though you're probably gonna hear a lot of ums and uhs for that one person who wants to like who's like kind of like getting a knack of hearing it. You know who you are. um, yeah. But I was able to still speak without like I already had my points down. I actually had a like a words like a document, a written document, not written document from Google Docs, like a typed document of like what's how my presentation is gonna go, what I'm gonna be talking about first, second, third, and whatnot, and that definitely helped. It's been like one of the few times in a job that I actually do prepare for things. Especially like a presentation like that. It like compared to say university when I had to like present, either if it was a speech class or not, I most likely try not to prepare, and then even if I do prepare, I don't end up speaking the things that I speak on the thing, which I ended up doing here as well, where I wrote up like 5 pages of basically what's my script, or not my script. Well, yeah, kind of my script, but like guidelines of what to talk about, what to talk next, and like that, and then almost completely not followed it, but like in a good way because I was still able to get my point across no matter what. Even if I shortcutted like a couple things, I try to like showcase what I could remember, and what I was planning to do for that presentation was to kind of read off from my script, just so I know where I am on the timeline, because I always have that issue of like going off track. Um, we're trying to speak, and usually I go off on tangents, especially for this one where it's timed, where you only have a lot of time to speak. It was definitely required for me to at least type up something, but at least when I type up something, I usually remind myself of what to talk about. Like if I type it out, I'll usually remember it a lot more often rather than trying to remember it in my head because I mean, I'm getting older. My brain is not in its full potential anymore. I'd definitely agree to that. Like my brain is not there compared to say back in university where I could probably remember it. I mean, I still attempt to remember it in my head, but I'm starting to forget it a lot more. So I always have to set reminders, whether it be on my phone, whether I ask Google to do that, or ask a couple friends, hey, can you remind me to do this? Because I will definitely forget. And if you're one of those friends, thank you for helping me. Because I really am becoming more forgetful and I really suck at writing things down. Unless if I really open my phone and actually write it down, I don't write it down. But I do thank the essence of technology to at least make me remember some things, just not all of them. So with that, like if I at least write it once, do it over, like try to do a mock demo by myself. I usually could figure out how I'm going to speak it out, and then for the most part, I could kind of remember my speech, and I was able to, oddly enough, do that for this demo. I was able to like not follow anything on my paper, but I was able. I didn't read off from my paper, but I was able to just pick up the certain cues that I needed to do in order to get to this next point, in order to get to the next point, and all that stuff. So overall, it wasn't so bad of a presentation. My second presentation was also the same thing, but the second one was interesting because for that one, we didn't have a guideline. So with doing these demos, we were given a prompt, and the prompt is very straightforward. First, you create this thing on the database on the program itself, and then you just basically present that. There's nothing else. You don't have to create anything, imagine anything, nothing. Everything is given to you. Same thing goes for the second demo. However, in terms of how you present it, it's kind of tricky because it's not very linear. The first demo was quite linear. Like you were able to tell a story from beginning to end, saying that you met up with this person who wants to make business with you. You do so, you do this, you do that on the system, then you try to sell them the product that you have. You do this, you do that, go through the whole thing, boom. The second demo is kind of open in terms of like, these are my requirements. Are you able to pull this off using this software? However, it's just requirements. There's not really, it's just saying that I just need this. I just need to have like, okay, let me see if I can give the demo without like doxing myself where I actually work. Like this software training company wants to use your product to showcase their training. They want to sell their training. They want to do this, this, and this. When they do this, they want to have a system where they could automatically email the person on like their book and their all that, like their workbook, as well as who's their teacher going to be, because it's also a one-on-one sort of deal with a teacher. And they pay for the hours of having professional help in learning the software, or learning how to create software. There we go. And then they have like another bunch of requirements. So it's like I kind of see the story. However, there's like a whole another set of requirements where you can't really use the same story. Like it's not one story. You have to create like a couple of situations of saying, okay, so we're going to start off with this person who was looking at your product, blah, 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 blah. They bought it and blah, 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 blah. You do these sets emails, set your teacher schedules and all that fun stuff. But then they had other requirements saying like, we have this additional product that we want to use in order to keep track of like if the customer has issues and they want additional help, they could use this system and all that. So basically you can't really write one story, like one concise story with that. However, now that I think about it, you probably can. You just have to give certain hypothetical situations and it could still become one general story. So yeah, no, it's just been very fun trying to figure out like how I'm gonna lay this out, and I kind of figured it out, and then it was just a matter of executing it, and I executed that just a couple hours ago. Not really a couple hours ago, like definitely earlier today, and it went pretty well. Went just as well as the first demo. Didn't have too much of an issue when speaking, aside from saying a whole bunch of ahs and ums, but I was able to get my point across. I was able to be convincing because how I'm trained to do these demos, I guess, through my trainers is to be as convincing as possible, tell a story, all that fun stuff. So I did, and I tried, and I think I did pretty well, and my leader said I did pretty well for both of them, so that's pretty cool. That's pretty pog. And yeah, hence why I'm still kind of a bit tired today, actually, because of it. Because yeah, it's just been it's been tiring. Definitely for the second week, and then I decided to go to the office twice a week, so it was a fun time to try to wake up early enough to get into the office at a reasonable time. Like I usually try to aim to get to the office around 8:30, so that means I usually have to wake up around like 6:30 here, just so I could prep. Take a shower, eat a breakfast, and then spend about 30 to 45 minutes going 3 miles. Yes, I am only like 3 miles away from work by car. However, by public transport, it will require about half an hour, if not a little bit more. They did have a shuttle when I used it. Still took a half an hour, and then after that, I decided to do some public transport just in case if I have any alternatives. And that one took also half an hour. So yeah, that it's it. Apparently I still got to commute, and it's still kind of a longish commute, but for just 3 miles. And yes, it would be easier if I had a car, but what is parking here? Aside from, well, granted, where my office is located, they actually have ample parking. However, where I live, there is no parking. Like, what is parking spots in San Francisco? It's non-existent. Very, very non-existent. Also, I should be going a lot slower, yet I'm still going about 40, 45. I could probably make this turn without too much of an issue. I'm just slowing down right now. Oh, I could do this. I'm just trying not to put too much um, gas. And I'm just trying to, like, curve it down. There we go. It's just really dark, as you could tell. It's very dark right now in this game. Um, So yeah, like it still takes a while to get there. So I have to take the extra time, but it's not too bad because at least I'm not commuting, saying from like the East Bay or anything. I think that would, like, if I had lived in the East Bay like I thought I was going to, like say in Hayward or Dublin or like that, it would have taken me about an hour and a half, hour and a half to get there. Not only riding BART but then transferring all that fun stuff. It's bleh. It's very bleh. But overall, it wasn't so bad, and I can't wait to get into the office more often. I might be going to the office about like for the whole week next week, even though we're still working from home till October. Because there's not a lot of people, and it's a really nice, quiet space to just work there and just do my training. There's also like small rooms to have your conferences or meetings in private if needed. So and catered lunch. I've finally experienced their catered lunch, and they're pretty good. They're pretty pog. Whoever they hired for their chefs, they really know how to cook, and they cook really good food. I've been meaning to take pictures, and I keep forgetting, only because, well, not really. I keep forgetting. I'm also a little bit shy of taking pictures because I'm not the only one in the lunchroom when we're eating lunch, so I don't want to be awkward. But I think I'll try definitely next week to take pictures of my food and then send it off to people or Twitter or not. I'm gonna try my best to like be as discreet, as hidden as possible. Because the last thing I need to do is have people from my work follow me on like my other socials. I have a professional social, and I only want them to be there. I don't want them to know me personally, at least yet. So yeah, that's been a very fun time this week. And then for the last week, I think we just got a couple more presentations, but been learning about accounting, which has been very fun and boring. Definitely on the boring side. And then from there, we're gonna just do our final lessons, and then we do an examination. And then after that, starting in 2 weeks' time, I'm gonna be doing my tech support training, which is apparently gonna last for about 12 weeks, supposedly. I also apparently have a couple meetings with my leads and whatnot, and then also like just a lot of other fun activities they're planning. So I feel like I'm definitely gonna be comfortable working here. I've already felt that, definitely on the first week, and even with the stressful time this week with presentations, all that stuff. I feel pretty confident I'm still gonna stay here, and I'm definitely work with them for as long as I can. They're a fun group. They're a fun crowd, and they're the benefits and all the fun experiences that I've had so far. It will be worth it. That was pretty sad. I almost hit that car, but hey, I made it. Oh God, it's a popo. Oops. Can I just go straight? I can. Okay, and that's the speed I'm going. Um, But yeah, no, I'm definitely gonna like working there, and I can't wait to learn more. I can't wait to meet more with more people. I try my best to meet up with the people on the 2 days I was there. I decided to only go there for 2 days. My first day it was okay, but then I got tired, so I waited till I decided to go Tuesday. Got very tired, and then I decided to stay home on Wednesday, and then I decided to go back into the office Thursday. I was like, oh, I want to meet more people, and then I got tired, and then I ended up staying home today. Working from home today. So I've been liking this like very hybrid schedule ish that we have so far, since it's still um, highly recommended to work at home, but at the same time, having that option to actually work at the office is really nice. So I've been just having a blast with it. And again, I can't wait for more people to show up in the office. Can't wait to talk to them. Can't wait to talk to my peers in my class and all that stuff. It's gonna be a fun time. Definitely gonna be a fun time. And I just realized in 20 minutes I have only made it that far and I have that much to go. So we'll see how well we'll make it. Maybe I really should have chose a short trip. I really wanted to do a short stream this week because yeah, I've been pretty tired. I also had a very fun time recording last weekend of doing satellite Chinatowns. Honestly, I thought I had a really good premise, and I think I did, but I don't think I executed it well. I would say. If you guys enjoyed the vlog from this past vlog, feel free to comment of like what I should do more or how should I improve it, because what I was planning in my head, at least when I was in Chinatown, I think I didn't even talk about it when I was in actual Chinatown about satellite Chinatowns until I got to the inner Richmond, because I was there to just pretty much do some shopping and actually eat lunch. I was just pretty much wanting to figure out where I wanted to go next that weekend. And so I went there. And then I just started, you know what, fuck it. Let me just vlog. Because I vlogged in Chinatown ish. I kind of wish I did more. I thought I did more, but I didn't. And then I vlogged around the downtown, so it'd be like fun, like recording whatever in Inner Richmond and wherever I ended up next. And then after like recording a short while in Inner Richmond and didn't record more because my stomach started hurting. Or me. I decided to talk with Dragon about this on a call last week. And how I just kind of told her of like, I have no idea what I'm doing with these videos. I have no idea what I'm going to be posting for this Friday. And so like I kind of told her where I went like that, and I kind of talked about like satellite Chinatowns. And then boom, I apparently had the idea of like, you know what? Since I talked about it, and since I was like just figuring out where to go next, fuck it, why don't I just go to these other satellite Chinatowns? Try to make a vlog about it. And so I did. I still kind of wish I recorded more in Chinatown, but I think the time I was in Chinatown, it was Labor Day. So it was really, really busy, and it was really, really awkward to record there without getting dirty looks. And to be fair, I've gotten quite a bit of, not really dirty looks, but definitely looks of seeing a person of my stature holding up my phone like this and recording. Probably not the best thing to do, but I did record. I did record as much as I can while I was there, and I really did try my best to not get as many faces in there. I just really wanted to show like the neighborhood around. If I could show people, I want to show people without their faces, because the last thing I need to do is invade their privacy, even though it's a public place. Like I want to respect their privacy while they're there. This is one long straight road. Holy shit. Can I just go 12 gear? I'm gonna do it. I'm always speeding because I need to make some time, guys. Oh shit, we're slowing down. So I tried. Again, I should have done better when I was in Chinatown. I should have also done better when I was in Richmond. But Chinatown, I wasn't so sure what I was going to record. In Richmond, diarrhea. Like, for lack of a better term, I had diarrhea after lunch, which sucked. But I tried to recover as much as I can while I was at Richmond. Not in Richmond, Outer Sunset, in the Outer Sunset Chinatown neighborhood. I'm just going to do it. Hi, my turn. Woohoo! Ugh. Let's go. Um, yeah, I went to Outer Sunset, and then I just try to recover as much as I can. Try to explain what satellite Chinatowns are. Try to as best to the best of my ability to explain about that term, which I think I'm pretty much only heard of it somewhere on the internet of someone talking about satellite Chinatowns in New York City. And the notion is that you have your usual Chinatown in Manhattan, but then you have the other big Chinatowns such as Flushing and Queens, and then I guess an emerging one is where I used to live back in Elmhurst in New York City. So it was just a fun time just trying to talk that while walking in San Francisco. I don't know how well it went. I edited it and I was like, okay, but I did a couple of voiceovers just repeating the information. And then after that, right after work on Thursday, I decided to go to the Portola district to record that part because that was the only part I was missing. Otherwise, I would have waited for another week to release the Chinatown vlog. So I did that, and hence why I didn't really stream last night. Not mainly for that reason, but definitely for the presentation that I had to do. Why the fuck am I going this way? Why? I could have just stayed on the road. And now you're just leading me to bullshit. Cool. Pog. Okay. So, yeah, no, like, mainly I was preparing for the demo, but, like, also had to finish the edit, which is that last part. And then, so I was doing the edit. I was editing my video. And then I was just, like, listening to all the audio, doing the voiceovers that I need to, because there were times where either there's too much traffic or wind. Fucking San Francisco wind. Granted, that's the only reason why I love living there, because it's windy and it's cold. That's what I like about living in a city. It's actually windy and temperate, but I mean, you don't know. I'm teaching you guys about this in some extent. But yeah. Um damn it, damn it, damn it, damn it, damn it. Okay. But where was I going with this? Yeah, no, I was editing the video, hearing all the information I was talking about, and then trying to provide voiceovers. And then by the end of the edit, by the time I was putting my outro and then putting the ending, about to render the video, I'm just thinking to myself, it's like, man, this is a very uninteresting video. I try to make it interesting. I try to like put out some like interesting detail to it, but I am not basing this on true historical facts because I did research it in the midst of finishing the edits of the video, and there really wasn't much information about satellite Chinatowns aside from the ones in New York City. The only thing that was like pretty relatable, that like gave me some sort of knowledge, was a Wikipedia excerpt about Chinatowns in the United States. So I was like, well, I'm just gonna base it off on this. I did want to do a little bit of research, but I did my research. I did my due diligence, and then I can't find jack shit. Like I really couldn't. I also need to be on the right lane. Can I be awkward? Nah. Fuck. Come on, let me in, let me in. Yeah, boy, I got it. Just don't hit the car. Yeah, dude. So I tried my very damn best with that vlog of just figuring out what kind of information, because I really like to some extent, or if not all extent, I actually did feel like I had a good premise for a vlog here, because it was very interesting to know that there's more than just one Chinatown aside from the main Chinatown, especially in San Francisco, because of how ethnically diverse it is, even by neighborhood. Like, you'll have the Hispanics in like a couple of neighborhoods, such as Mission. Even in the outer inner Sunset, like they'll live around there. Outer Mission, where I live, um, around here. I think I doxed myself for doing that, but just around like where I live as well. Like they're spread out, and then you got the Chinese who have their own Chinatown, but also because what I remember reading in Wikipedia, the ever so expanding population of them, they started living in the inner Richmond, the Portola district, and um, Outer Sunset. And like, there's a whole bunch of ethnic backgrounds in like many different neighborhoods. I mean, it's quite a melting pot, but also at the same time, um, what is it? A toss salad? I forgot the analogy, but like we're mixed in terms of like where we live, but in terms of where we shop, I feel like it's pretty much like kind of segregated. Like there is a place for um actually I say that, but then like they're also mixed everywhere. So I guess like there's no there's not much background information to go behind with that. I'm just going to floor it. Um Fuck it, I'm speeding. Bye. That's Popo. No, that's not Popo. I'm buying. I'm just going new. Okay. So like, and that's what I kind of want to also showcase. Like, eventually, I want to start finding like, as a Filipino, find like the places where Filipinos do hang out in San Francisco. But plot twist, they don't usually hang out here. They usually hang out in South City. So like South San Francisco, Daly City, and all that stuff. So that's gonna be fun. Trying to see if I can make the weekend, which I know I can. I've done it already. I've managed to visit a couple places down there on a weekend, so I should be able to do it. But like, try to like explore those neighborhoods and try to find like really interesting neighborhoods, really interesting parks, and something to just showcase that is hopefully not been showcased by other people, at least as of yet. I was still very tempted to see if I could figure out a way to get to like Sutro Tower by public transport because I don't drive. And go to like some of the parks where like people try to go to by car, but then, hey, look, alternative transportation, go use it. And then that's like also what I try to advocate in my vlogs too. It's like you can access this by public transportation rather than driving, for the most part, hopefully. And so I thought that's what I had in terms of the Chinatown, like talking about like maybe a little bit of culture and whatnot, and like showcase some parts of the neighborhood because I found it interesting when I was there when I was living in San Francisco during university, and I thought, you know what, why not? Let me just share, like, showcase it and share it, because I've always been interested of going back here, and well, I went back there, and I kind of want to show it to you guys. So I tried. Again, if there's any suggestions, feel free to comment down on the video below or here, so I could definitely reflect that upon future vlogs. Set Popo. 65. I'm good. Yeah. After just overall that edit, it didn't feel like I think like I know there's some things I did aim for, and I think I aimed for it. But then after just editing, it's like this seems very uninteresting. I mean, interesting in ways that hey, there are these things, but I didn't provide as much like more facts or sites or C's that are there, because most of the, I'd say, aside from Chinatown itself, the satellite Chinatowns are pretty nothing aside from like inner Richmond. But there's just so much people there I couldn't really record. Outer Sunset, it's just a strip street, like a street of a strip mall. Not really street of a strip mall, like a market street, like all the grocery shops, other shops, and restaurants and whatnot that are definitely Asian oriented and definitely Chinese oriented. with like a couple of other ethnicities, Asian ethnicities as well. And that was the same in Inner Richmond, in Outer Sunset, and Portola. So I was like trying to figure out, it's like, there really isn't much to record now to think about it. Like after like going through the edits, like I thought doing the recording, I was like, ooh, I got stuff. I think I know what I'm talking about. I think I know what I'm doing. This will be a fun video to edit. But then after editing, it's like, oh, I'm missing a lot of things. Or at least that's what I feel. I've definitely considered that. I definitely do think I'm missing a lot of things in that video. Like, especially for like historical fact. Like, I tried my best. Not really tried my best. I did some attempt on researching of like these neighborhoods. But at the same time, the general consensus is that they moved there because, hold on. My throat was getting dry. I've been talking for about 30 minutes now. I remember this part of the history, and I should have talked about it. But for those who like lived in downtown, especially for the Chinese immigrants, as well as many Asian immigrants who lived right around Chinatown, because that was the place to be at. For the most part, I'd say like a place to be comfortable at compared to other places in San Francisco, because back then it was mainly Caucasian white male oriented area, and racism is a thing, especially back then and technically now, but it was more rampant definitely decades ago. So, ooh, my bad, dude. Okay. Oh shit, I don't have enough gears. Let's go. Thank God there's no crash physics, otherwise. Ouch. But where was I going with this? Oh, yeah. So like most like by history, when Asian immigrants decided to emigrate to the United States, usually they're in the Asian-oriented community, like part of the community in the city. But where Chinatown was located in the 70s, well, I mean, Chinatown is located now. It's literally right next door to the financial district of San Francisco, and it was popping off back in the like after World War II. So with that, businesses was starting to move there. They're trying to create their Western headquarters over there, or Western offices over there. So that started driving out a lot of Asian immigrants and Asian Americans who lived in the Chinatown community. Um, Also ended up destroying, I think, was it called Little Manila, or is it only in Stockton? I think it might have been called Little Manila as well. But like they started destroying like those parts because many of the Asian immigrant communities were poorer than the affluent Caucasian or European communities. If I recall correctly, Little Italy was spared, but Chinatown wasn't. So like there was not a lot of say and everything. How money is king in terms of making decisions. It was definitely the case during that time. So they destroyed started destroying parts of the community to start building bigger high rises around the area. And then with that started the forcible move into these neighborhoods such as the Inner Richmond, Outer Sunset, and Portola. Because they can't live in Chinatown. There's not a lot of space for them, and more people are starting to show up in San Francisco. So with that, yeah, they started moving outwards towards the suburbs. And I remember hearing about the history of like how many of the affluent people were complaining and at times protesting because people of color started moving there. I remember hearing about that part of history because I took a Filipino American class, like Filipino American history in, hello, what happened here? In university. That's how I'm going to do it. Bye, guys. Yeah, I took Filipino American history. And so basically, I learned everything about the Filipino Americans living here in America and what they've encountered, what they've endured, and all that stuff. There's actually quite a lot of good books about it. But they were like, we definitely focused on like the historical aspects in San Francisco, because out of like the many cities around America, the ones that usually makes the most movement, at least what I've known, in my class in this class, was most of the Asian American movement and Asian immigrant movement was in San Francisco, because a lot of like disturbing things, like not really I don't know, kind of disturbing. Yeah, actually pretty. Um, came about when they were building the financial district for San Francisco, and just hearing the riot, not really riots, but like definitely the protests and all that stuff during the 70s about it. So with that, like the affluent whites and whoever are the rich ones that are like, we don't want people of color living here. So then some of them decided to move. Some of them were like, don't go here, sort of thing. And racism was still prevalent during the 60s and 70s, even with the attempt for integration with the community. Racism was still rampant. So many of them did, like many of the affluent people did move out, which caused more people to move into these communities. And then they decided, because it can be tough to get to Chinatown on a daily basis, why not just set up shop where they live? And so they did. Many others took foot, and hence why we have those satellite Chinatowns in the inner Richmond, Outer Sunset, and Portola. I want to say maybe the same thing is for New York, but I didn't really look into it just yet. I've been wanting to. Hopefully someone can make a video, if someone hasn't made a video yet about the satellite Chinatowns, that I would like really intrigued of knowing how it works and how it worked over there, especially in New York. Because San Francisco is like, I definitely know it's definitely through history where there was too many Chinese who lived in Chinatown. They wanted to move out, and because of all the struggles that's been going on trying to develop the financial district in San Francisco, they started moving out to these neighborhoods, and there you go. Here's the story. But I don't think I told that too well. And I really tried my best of like trying to kind of tell that story, but at the same time, I didn't really remember this information that I just shared to you just a couple of minutes ago. I kind of wish I did when I was recording a video, because it would have been very interesting to talk about history. So with that, I may plan on remaking that video in the future. Hopefully, if I can garner some like critique on that video itself, saying that there's some major information missing on the thing, it'll definitely convince me to make another video. But I will plan on making either a part 2 or definitely a take 2 on satellite Chinatowns at San Francisco, because outside of just seeing it, it's just a normal street with business going, with business as usual. But knowing its history of why they're there, why they live there, it's really interesting, and I really do want to share it one day. Please don't make me brag, guys. Come on. Ow. So that would be that. Like, I'll definitely have ideas for like definitely exploring more neighborhoods. It's just a matter of finding those other neighborhoods. I'm also very tempted to find all the streets in San Francisco that has like that's becoming a shopping place, such as the ones in South Chinatown, like Clement. I said Sutter. I made a mistake. It's Clement, Irving, and San Bruno. Definitely it'd been fun to cover Mission, because Mission actually, in terms of Mission Street in San Francisco, there's a whole bunch of businesses aside from like a handful of parts of the street where it's actually more residential. Surprising. But for the most part, there's like a whole bunch of businesses down on Mission. Same goes for Geary, which would be interesting, because I know you do have Satellite Chinatown in the inner Richmond. We also have a pretty affluent Korean community on Geary, as well as a Russian community on Geary, because I think in the Richmond district in general, and it's not Sunset, I think that's Outer Richmond. Yeah, that's Outer Richmond. So anything above Golden Gate Park is Outer Richmond. But like between Inner Richmond and Outer Richmond, like it's a Arguello Boulevard westward, they're kind of spotty in terms of where their businesses are located, but there's a pretty affluent Korean and Russian community around there between Arguello, and 20th Street on Geary. So it'll be fun to like explore like those places, see if there's any like interesting facts that I could find, which I really need to do my research now about that. It'll be fun to talk about, as well as maybe trying to really visit Little Italy a little bit more, because I did visit Little Italy right before Chinatown. But I only recorded a little bit because that was Labor Day. It was really busy. There was a lot of people. It was a pretty nice weather actually though. But it was pretty busy, so I was pretty hesitant to record around there, but it'd be cool to like record there, see how they develop many things, see if I could find any fun eateries as well, because when in doubt, vlog some eats, right? I've been wanting to do that for my Chinatown vlog, but I didn't do it. I was still kind of scared, especially for like some ethnic backgrounds that I'm not gonna publicly talk about here. I do fear for myself of like recording, because the last thing I need to do is have someone complain at me of recording, and then I feel very bad at doing it. Like, I want to record, but I also want to respect their privacy. I want to be sure that it's not awkward for me to record here, and it's not awkward for them for me to record here, sort of deal. Because many of them just want to get in with their daily lives, and for me, I kind of do want to share that, but at the same time, I know I shouldn't. So like I try to do it like not secretly as well, but like try to like inadvertently record around the area and be like, hey, I'm not gonna point it out of like, hey, they're doing business over there, hey, they're doing business over there, because that's just not fun. That seems kind of sus if you think about it. But I do want to record more. I do plan on exploring more. It'd be also fun to explore. Oh, definitely parks. Definitely like parks and rec stuff. Um, I still want to go to Sutro. It'd be cool if I could figure out something about like the park I live close by, McLaren, Lake Merced, which is also close by as well. And that'd be fun because I've always wanted to fully explore Lake Merced, and I've almost did it when I lived here last time, but I was hesitant because I was on a college budget and I didn't want to spend too much money or take a lot of time um, trying to figure out how to get lost there. Even though I probably should have I should have done that while I was there compared to now because I work. Like, Daryl, come on. The main reason you moved to San Francisco was work. Not really, like, exploring was the second thing. So, but it'd be fun to see if I could find any fun stuff over there in the Lake Merced area. And there's like some, probably could be some interesting history because there's like a whole bunch of like high rises over there. I've always wondered what was the intention. Like, who are they trying to copy? Were they trying to be like New York and building um, apartmental suburbs, whatnot? I also do want to like explore. Like, I know a little bit of a CD point, another CD point that is not Tenderloin in San Francisco, which is the Visitation Valley. There's a lot of like project. If I recall correctly, there's like a lot of Project 8 neighborhoods over there. Project 8, for those who doesn't know, is low cost housing. And usually, well, at least what I saw in Visitation the last time I was there was with low cost housing, usually you constitute it as mostly with crime. I don't know. I always think of like Project 8 because I used to live in like suburbs. I back in Florida, back where I lived in with my parents. It was middle class suburbs. So when I hear like Project 8, I only hear about the stigma of Project 8, which is like, it's definitely for the low incomers, and all that stuff. And usually, like, first impressions when you go through Visitation Valley is like, majority of it is suburbs, but then there's like this one section where it's definitely Project 8 stuff, or Section 8 stuff, not Project 8, Section 8 stuff, which is low cost housing. But apparently they're building something new, so that's really cool. But it'd be cool to like go around there again because like I'm older, I probably should be able to do it. Hopefully there's no crazy people there, which I don't think there is nowadays. Usually more of the crazy people is up at Tenderloin for the most part. Why am I driving the left lane for the whole time? But yeah, most of the crazies are around like Tenderloin, so it'll be like interesting to like visit around Visitation Valley, and especially I want to like maybe explore it more often because I was like around that area and I thought it was like kind of seedy. It still kind of is in some parts, but overall it's not too bad. So I want to see if I could find anything interesting around that area. Aside from the Section 8 stuff, I'll let that be. I don't want to provide any more negative stigma than there probably is around that area. I want to show like some cool sides too, and there's apparently like a couple cool sides around the Visitation Valley. Also, I've heard about like there used to be like two apartment towers that were in that area that was definitely known for being low cost, not only low cost housing, but definitely high rampant location for crime. Unfortunately, it got demolished in like the late 90s, so there's no remnants of it. But I've seen the history, like I've read the history, and it's really interesting history. So it'll be cool to like find the original spot, see what's taken up there. All I know it's next to Cow Palace, so and I'm not far from Cow Palace, so it'll be fun to like visit there. And I do eventually want to try, and I'm gonna hit that card. I do eventually want to try and visit the Bayview district because I know for the fact that's also I think it's starting to become a little bit more affluent now. But I remember the last time I was there in 2015, 2016, it was also like uh, a low income location. But now I've started to hear a lot more like affluent stuff being developed over there. So it'd be really cool. I just do need to avoid some of the homeless because they do end up being in around the Bayview district because of easy access with public transportation. But I do want to visit that area. I do want to visit that location, see if I can find any cool things. I know there's quite a bit of history with the Bayview district, and I think definitely with like people of color and all that stuff, definitely around that area. I think I could be wrong. Don't quote me on that, please. But that's what I remember like hearing about a handful of times, as well as like just uh, perceiving the area, and it looks like a really fun place now compared to before. Well, quote unquote. And then explore other neighborhoods, especially like on the east side, because mainly on the west side is all suburbs. Aside from like maybe exploring West Portal, but I've done that in 2016 vlogs, so it'll be cool to kind of update with on the 2021 vlogs. Around there, there's like a couple parts in Sunset that I could explore, but aside from that, it's mostly suburbs on the western side of San Francisco, um, and around where I live, really. Aside from just a handful of stuff, so I'm gonna continue finding more things, see if I can find like other fun places. I think the places that I'm planning not to visit per se, because it's just not my thing. But you know, I'll give it a chance if it comes around. When once I find something more like very interesting that a lot of people have talked about, would be like Haight Ashbury and Castro districts, because I feel like there's already a prominent role in terms of explaining San Francisco with those two districts. For Haight Ashbury, that's where basically I'd say the hippie movement has started. Like that's where you'll find everything about hipsters and whatnot is in the Haight Ashbury area, and most definitely on Haight Avenue. Haight Avenue, Haight Street. Haight for those who want to know how it's spelled. It's not Hate, but they pronounce it as hate, and it's not height because it's Height. Um, so that's like maybe one day, but it's usually very busy over there, and it's like crowded streets, and a lot of people are like not like it's been a while. Like the last time I was there on a bus, like I've seen a lot of people not following, like taking off their mask while being outside, and a lot of them too. So you know, safety's first, right? Safety first. Um, definitely. So like yeah, definitely for the Haight Ashbury area is definitely for the hipster movement. You know, within the 60s and 70s, definitely start around there because Haight Ashbury is right next to Golden Gate Park, which is where most of the hipsters congregate to during the times, and they still do now, from time to time. But it's now being used by many locals and tourists alike nowadays. And then Castro District, which is a prominent site for LGBTQ. They've already got their flag, but they also got their recognition for what it is. Again, one day, yes, I'll eventually do visit the Castro district and at Castro Street and around the market area, like the market Castro area. I've been there before. It's really cool. But at the same time, I feel like if I put a camera on there, I will definitely get dirty looks, and that is not going to be a fun time because I feel like someone will complain wholeheartedly. Even though I'm, people of color and all that stuff, I don't want to attract the wrong crowd when I do that. Same for Haight Ashbury, I don't want to attract the wrong crowd to do that. But I will do it eventually. Like once I kind of like do like the more random, maybe boring stuff that I'm will try to unboring, like unboringfied it. I want to showcase that first before showcasing what everyone knows, because that's what I kind of want to build in terms of like my travel vlogs. It's what I want to experience. I mean, sure, yes, I would like to do the mainstream stuff, but at the same time, I feel like everyone knows about it. So it'll be cool to like see if there's any other places that seems interesting to record. And like I kind of want other people to know because there's quite a lot of fun things that are just like outside of the usual stuff in San Francisco. Wow, what a oh, I was wondering why I'm still driving. I was still on the gas and not on the brakes. GG spam. You did it right. Now I have to like awkwardly drive over here. We. Oh yeah. I'm like going way too fast. There we go. I just wanted to get gas, guys. So that's expect more other neighborhoods first, and then maybe some interesting streets along the way. Aside from Lombard, that everyone knows the Twisty Curvy Street. I do want to like showcase other random streets. I do want to find the steepest street in San Francisco. I know it's there. I know it's somewhere, and it's gonna be hell to get there. But I would want to record that. I want to vlog it and just show how steep this street is. I mean, it's not the steepest street in the world. I mean, Tom Scott managed to find it somewhere else. It's not in San Francisco. But it'd be cool to find a steepest street in San Francisco, amongst many other like quirky features in terms of like definitely like either architecture or city planning. Like, why did they build this road like this? Why did they put this thing here? Be cool to find like those oddities that some people might have found, but it hasn't been recognized yet. So it'll be cool. And then neighborhoods, as much of the fun neighborhoods as possible. And then what I thought I was gonna do this month, but I didn't do because work. I underestimated my quote unquote workload, was to go out of San Francisco and start visiting other neighborhoods, other communities, other cities. Well, I technically have done that, but I don't think it's necessarily vlog worthy at the moment because I just been basically shop. I just do shopping in these neighborhoods and cities, but I've noticed that there's a couple of like places that I could visit. Maybe it'll be a fun time to record because I was on a bus going to the mall and I managed to find this part of the city that looks very interesting. So it'll be cool to stop there one day. But mainly for the past couple weeks, I did explore outside of San Francisco and basically explored the next city over, Daly City. Found a couple of nice shopping centers that are, sorry, San Francisco better than the ones in San Francisco. I feel more comfortable shopping over there than over here in San Francisco, surprisingly. Um, and I just started like using other transportation agencies, like over in Daly City and Colma and all that stuff. They use Samtrans, which is another bus organization. Bus organization. What's the word? It's not company because it's public. Um, Bus operator around there. So it was just nice to see the stark difference between riding the Muni here in San Francisco and riding Samtrans over there in Daly City. And it really is actually interesting. I find it definitely a lot more people. Like I think actually no, it's about an equal amount of people riding the transportation by percentage. However, I could definitely tell that the ones who ride Muni are like we get the whole spread from poor to rich. In terms of the ones who ride Samtrans, it's definitely meant for the community. Like you ride the bus to get from point A, from your house to the mall or to the store or whatever. Compared to I'd say riding the bus in San Francisco with Muni. I mean, it's still the same thing, but then you also got your handful of tourists, your handful of workers going into the city because fuck driving in San Francisco, and all that stuff. I say that, but I feel like I see the same spread. But I definitely feel more of a community vibe when riding Samtrans in Daly City rather than in Muni because I think I just see a lot more poor people. I see a lot more homeless riding Muni since it's a very open system. And what I mean by open system is that you tag on when you get on the bus, and it's basically operated on an honor system rather than with Samtrans you have to pay fare right in front with the bus operator, right in front of the bus operator, in order to ride the bus. So, I mean, I also do feel a lot more safer riding Samtrans compared to Muni, but that's because of that. One is an open policy, the other one is you require to pay up front before boarding the bus or upon boarding the bus. But I'm planning to explore more, definitely towards the south before going east. Because once I start going to the East Bay, there's going to be way too much to explore, and I'm going to be overwhelmed if I decide to do that first. I definitely want to explore south, most likely up to San Jose, but I'm going to try to explore up to Millbrae, San Bruno, because that's how far BART goes. And the last thing I need to do is board Caltrain and figure out where the fuck I'm going. Waste about an hour or two getting down there, and then hopefully try your best on a weekend to not miss your train going back home. Otherwise, oh boy, high expensive Uber ride. That's gonna be pain. I don't want to do that. So that's. I'm hoping to try and do that by this year. Unfortunately, I don't have a lot of holidays to work with doing it, but I want to try to at least work with some of my Saturdays to do a day trip to these neighborhoods. I definitely do want to explore South San Francisco, knowing that there's a bus route that goes into the cultural part of South San Francisco rather than the suburban part, which I think it is actually their downtown. So it'd be cool to visit downtown South San Francisco. After exploring downtown Daly City, there really isn't much, unless if someone wants to tell me otherwise. It'd be cool. It'd be cool to also do a vlog in Colma, but you're just going to see a bunch of tombstones, and I could just at that point reflect you to a Tom Scott video because Tom Scott has already done a video about Colma, where there's more dead people over living people that lives in the city of Colma. Fascinating, right? I love that odd fact, but it's a really cool fact. But unless if you guys want to see dead people in the daytime, when it's foggy, most likely, comment down below. I might showcase around like the Mission Boulevard area of that because the last thing they do is be outside of the Mission Boulevard area, be like, fuck. Ooh, I have an idea. It'd be interesting and be kind of scary, but it'd be cool. Walking from Colma BART station to South San Francisco BART station. Reason why I say that is between the two, if you walk above ground, is the cemeteries. Like basically, in order to get from Colma to South San Francisco by walking, you're gonna be going through a whole bunch of cemeteries. You're gonna be seeing a whole bunch of cemeteries. You're kidding me? No, dude, I have to go far. Jeez. I'm gonna find a spot. Who's the asshole that decided to close this part of the road? This is a long detour, you know. I'm just gonna U-turn somewhere. Because it's gonna make me U-turn all the way at Prim. Dude, that's a long detour. I didn't want to spend extra time doing this detour, guys. Please have mercy on me. I'm gonna find an opening. I should have probably just turned it off because I wanted to end in like a little bit. But now I gotta take this long ass detour. Oh wait, here we go. We're doing it! I'm doing it. Hi. Hi, coppers. Don't mind me. I'm just turning around. Don't do what I did, kids, in real life. It's not fun. I pressed the wrong pedal. So yeah, that would be fun. Like that's just a spur of idea. I don't know if I'm actually gonna do that, but it'd be cool because I think it's relatively flattish, if not downhillish, going from Colma to South San Francisco. So it'll be a fun walking vlog between the two stations. Um, I could do the walk from South San Francisco to San Bruno, but that's long. I don't know. We'll see. Could probably do top of the hill to Colma. Huh. So here are some like ideas I'm just sparking up in my head, trying to see if I want to do it. Um, but I do want to start exploring south of where I live first, especially up to basically the airport, and then from there I would have to do some research of like what's over there because I think south of Millbrae and going towards like Palo Alto, like that. I know there's like a couple of things, and then also there's the whole bunch of tech companies that are located down there. When you get to Mountain View, um, Sunnyvale, and all that stuff. But one day I'll get down there to Mountain View, Palo Alto, Stanford. Ooh, I do want to visit Stanford one day if their campus is open. I've been always wanting to do that when I went to SF State, just visit their campus in general, but I didn't. Like I really didn't. I should have, but I didn't. Oh, it will make me turn off. Okay. Should we? I gotta get onto the right lane like ASAP. It's so funny that I've done this drive. I've been on this drive before, just a couple months ago. It doesn't look like this. Like there's actually 4 lanes down this road, but that's fine. Ooh, yeah, boy, I did it. Let go of the pedal, let go of the gas, and we'll just keep driving. Just maintain. Hell yeah, I did it. So yeah, no, I'll definitely have to do some research in terms of that area too. Oh, I'm just gonna keep going. That's interesting. They haven't updated this section of the road because it finally became 2 lanes, like 2 lanes in each direction. It's actually a full-fledged freeway. Can you make it? I'm just gonna. Why do I keep pressing the brakes? I don't feel safe with that. What is my driving right now? Okay. Let me kind of take it seriously. So, yeah, we'll see in the next couple weeks. I do have my parents coming over this week to help out on some stuff around the area, around this place in the house, because I know there's a couple things that they want me to get. So hopefully I'll help them to get it so we can make this place a little bit better. But then maybe in October and then November before holidays, I would visit some of these places, whether it be in San Francisco or Southside, and try to vlog. It would be cool to see if I could do my next week's vlog for South San Francisco, but most likely it's not going to happen. But definitely in a couple weeks' time because I see a lot of cool, fun stuff down there in downtown San Francisco. And it'd be cool to see what is the other San Francisco, basically. And why is it called South San Francisco aside from the geographical location that is South San Francisco? I know there's actually a handful of fun facts around that area. I can't remember them right now because I researched them before. I just don't recall them now. So, yeah, there's that. And then eventually, maybe in 2022, I'll start exploring East Bay. Maybe I'll go down as far south as San Jose and then go upwards to many of the places over there. It'd be cool to talk about, try to vlog it, be like one of those people. Also, I realized I feel like both my Salesforce and Satellite Chinatown vids, I feel like I'm starting to copy the idea that Action Kid has done for New York and the many other cities he's visiting right now. That he's already visited, where he just does a walking tour and a walking vlog, and I may or may not be very heavily inspired doing that with those two vlogs that I did. But at the same time, that's what I did when I was doing the later vlogs, like later travel vlogs with San Antonio, Reading, and all that stuff. And that was before I actually found out Action Kid. So I would say I'm influenced by him, but at the same time, I wasn't because I was already doing this myself before finding him. But I would also say I've taken inspiration with what he has done. So it'd be cool like to see if I could take a spin on it, make it a little bit shorter, and try to explain more things about like the neighborhood, like the fun parts of the neighborhood rather than the negative parts. Because I think for Action Kid, he talks about like the whole spread, like the goods and the bads. I would want to primarily focus on some of the goods, and especially for neighborhoods that not a lot of people talk about because it's not really prevalent in terms of making videos of San Francisco. But it'd be cool to talk about because I am here and I managed to find this place because there was something interesting over here. And I want to share it to you guys because no one has recorded it yet, per se. So that's pretty much my main goal for like latter half of 2021 and definitely for 2022 in terms of my channel. In terms of for these vlogs that I'm uploading every Friday, is to showcase something that hasn't been necessarily showcased yet. And I feel like it'd be a fun thing to showcase because, hey, I'm already here and I find it interesting, and I feel like you might find it interesting too. Hence why we have a vlog. And eventually, I do want to get better at vlogging something like this in general because it's something I haven't done in quite a while, if not ever. I mean, really, the start of the travel vlogs, I was trying, and I think I am improving in terms of what I want to showcase around the area and whatnot. But at the same time, there's some things I've missed out on. Whether it's my my reaction or my actions, or something that I just couldn't. I'm losing a whole bunch of money for this job. It's fine. It's either that or where was I going with this? Yeah, mostly my actions really, in terms of like recording the area around the area. Nice. So, but yeah, I do want to improve more. And again, I feel like I have like been improving in terms of like what I came from with the Lake Tahoe vlog, my travel vlog one, knowing that I'm already on travel vlog 12 in the now 4 months, no, well, 4 or 5 months that I've been doing it, having 12 vlogs and been slowly trying to figure out how to make it better. I think I'm getting there. So, again, if you have any other suggestions of what I should put in my video, how should I make this video better, feel free to comment on any of my vlogs. And if you haven't subscribed to me already, please do, because I will make it better as best as I can, and as best as my Note 20 Ultra can, because really that's the only equipment I use, and I think I'm just gonna stick with it until I get comfortable using a bigger camera or whatnot for these sort of vlogs. I mean, for travel vlogs, I do want to be discreet, like be a little bit discreet about it. Like I don't want to like have people like a lot of people know that I'm vlogging, but at the same time, Jesus, really? But at the same time, I want to still respect whoever's privacy I'm maybe dealing messing with right now. Just recording your beautiful town or beautiful section of the neighborhood. Um. So yeah, that's what's being planned. That's what I'm planning to do with that. What else? Talked about work, talked about vlogs and travel and whatnot. And hopefully, I want to travel more. I'm hoping 2022 will get better. Please, life. Please, COVID, get away. Because 2022 is what I like. I want to do a lot more. I want to travel a lot more, especially since I'm working and hopefully be making the money and then hopefully getting those vacation hours eventually. I do want to get out of San Francisco and outside of where my parents' place per se, because really that's going to be the only two places I'll be visiting for the next couple of months. But it'd be cool to like travel to like other cities. Um, Mostly by myself would be cool, or with friends. I guess with parents as well, but we're not going to be having a road trip for like another road trip anytime soon since I'm working again. But I would like to travel more in 2022. I think I talked about it before. I do want to go to conventions first. Hopefully, Anime Expo will be back up. Many other anime expos, like Fanime, which is like not too far from here. Cultural Expo, which also not too far from here. But like other uh, expos, other conventions, it'd be cool if things do get better. Maybe we'll reinstate VidCon, TwitchCon, PAX, all that stuff. I'm hoping 2022 that will be a thing. Again, we don't know because this whole COVID situation has been getting out of hand in the most stupidest and yeah, that's to be expected ways, unfortunately. But for some people, we have learned. For some of us, we have learned. Others haven't. So it's the actions that has led to consequence. You know, their actions have led to very dire consequences, unfortunately. But you know, don't want to think too negative. I'm hoping that 2022 will finally be that year, because I thought 2021 would be. I thought we were going to improve, and then Delta variant happened. Damn it! But if it does improve, we could definitely start traveling more. That would be great. And then hopefully, maybe in the next couple of years, we'll be back to international traveling. And then with that, I'll be going out with friends to Japan. We are still planning to do this. Oddly enough, we've been planning to go to Japan for quite some time. Ever since, I think, prior to the graduation of a couple of friends who graduated right when COVID hit. We were planning to at least try to go to Japan around this year. Oddly enough, around this year, but most definitely around next year. And well, that's not happening in both occasions. Hi. But in the near future, it'd be cool to start traveling outside of the country, around the world, maybe. I don't know so much about around the world, but like definitely around Asia, definitely around Europe, and then if opportunity strikes, maybe around everywhere else, really. Um, it would be cool to visit Australia now I think about it. Sorry, Aussie people. And Africa. But there's some tension. We'll see. Actually, it'd be cool to like visit Libya because that's where my parents used to work at. Um, but yeah, like eventually start traveling around the world, visit places that I want to visit. Maybe attempt to vlog it because again, I think I've explained this before in terms of how I do the vlogs. It'd be cool to get the views. It'd be cool to see like more and more people see the world in my eyes. But at the very bare minimum, it's a memory for me. It's a record for me saying that, hey, I've been here and I did this. And that's what I've been always aiming for with them. So maybe I guess like doing the history thing. It's not really required, but it'd be fun to just talk about because, hey, I learned about it and it'd be cool to record it since I learned about it, sort of deal. Yeah, man. It's funny, like I'm just like now traveling up I-5 right now since I'm already in California and I'm already in the Central Valley. Yeah, this definitely reminds me of the trip back home, going back home, like when the unfortunate incident happened with my dad over in Texas. And nothing too crazy. We were just trying to figure out how to get home as quick as we can. And oddly enough, traveling from Colorado and New Mexico and then cross 40 and then up 5. I remember just doing that in what 3 days. It was like Texas to Flagstaff for one day, Flagstaff to Barstow for another day, and Barstow to home the last day. And just driving through this is starting to flow in fun memories. Even though like some the unfortunate happened with my dad with a thing, and we had to go home because of it. I still vividly remember just going down this way 5 months ago, and it was still a fun experience. Actually, 4 months ago. Wow. Yeah, it's only been 4 months. Holy shit. I've been doing a lot of stuff this year. Like, oddly enough, and I think about it, my 2021 was like my 2019. First half was planning for a trip, and then we did the trip. And in the second half, I found a job, and I'm in a job. But hey, I'm doing something different. At least I'm continuing Truck and Talk. The only time I did only, I think I do remember just live streaming once for Truck and Talk. Oddly enough, around this time, I think it was like September 16, 2019, is when I did Truck and Talk once, and then I never did it again. Oops. But I want to keep it up. I've been at my very best to keep up with the tradition of Truck and Talk for the past 3 weeks, and hopefully it'll continue on. Ooh, that some acid decided to come up. Well, hopefully I will definitely continue this on throughout 2021 and definitely throughout 2022 and even more into the future, regardless of work or anything like that. So expect more. And plus, I gotta use this gigabit internet somehow, right? So gotta love the 1080p quality that you're seeing right now, except it's nighttime, so you can't really see shit right now. But I look clean, right? What else I could talk about? I say that like I can stream nicely and like that, but also at the same time, I feel like the stream has been pretty good. Like I saw like after uploading this VOD, basically the stream up to YouTube as VOD, and like I watch it back, it's like, ooh, this looks a lot cleaner than what I usually stream it back at home. So hopefully one day I'll be able to upgrade the internet back at home. So if I wanted to stream there, hey, hi, I'm streaming. But I'm just like thinking, it's like, oh, but at the same time, I'm such a techie person where I just want to upgrade to the latest things. I'm a techie consumer, or I just want to upgrade to the latest things. And it doesn't help that I guess the Apple announcement happened earlier this week, and they announced like a couple of new iPhones and iPads and whatnot. And a lot of people are talking about getting the iPad Mini, and I looked at the iPad Mini, and it looks very, very tempting. So I kind of want to get an iPad Mini, even though I have a tablet that I use for Stream Deck access, like my hotkeys. But at the same time, I want an iPad Mini. I just want tech, and well, we'll see how well for the next couple of paychecks if I decide to upgrade tech again, because I did that with Senses, especially during COVID, because it's like, I have the stockpile of money. I could probably use something with it. And then since my coworkers were building new PCs, I decided to just join the party and build a new PC. And then I did. And then I now want to upgrade my PC, even though it's only going to be a year and a half at this time. But it'd be cool to like upgrade components and eventually try to do more. Maybe play more games, try to render more videos. Eventually, I want to try to record in 4K and then edit and render and upload in 4K, because I got the internet. Technically have the technology to record 4K. I just don't have the technology to edit 4K. I say that because all I have here is, well, if you're watching this live on stream, my tech specs are down below. If I recall correctly, it's a i7 10th gen i7 10700KF 8 core 16 thread CPU. So that shouldn't be too bad, right? To render out videos on an 8 core system, and then a 2060 Super. The last time I edited a 4K video. Oh, itchy. Water time. Okay, so the last time I recorded 4K, edited a 4K video was the week of Samsung, because I wanted to try to at least do 4K video. Granted, that was with my Ryzen 5 3600 6-core 12-thread processor, but still the same graphics card. And I edited it using Sony Vegas, which is a pretty lightweight program compared to like Premiere and whatnot. However, trying to edit anything in 4K, even trying to set it at like 1/4 or 1/8 resolution, it chugs. My computer chugs so hard. 1080p, totally fine. But when you get to 4K, it's like chug central. So eventually, I want to see if I can get a new graphics card first, maybe a 30 series, because while the 2060 Super is great at handling games like this, as well as Genshin, and then 1080p editing, if I want to go for 4K, I need to get a better graphics card. And then eventually a better processor. I'm still aiming to get Ryzen 9, because I actually did bring my other system with me, ready to swap out a CPU if that comes to the case, because even though I have a Ryzen 5 3600, I do have an X570 motherboard that should be capable for 5th gen Ryzen. And since it's going to be the last iteration before they go to a new platform, hey, hopefully it'll get cheaper here real soon. And I've seen some decent prices for Ryzen 9s. I do want to aim for a 5900X. It'd be cool if I can get a 5950X for a decent price to get that 12-core goodness. Otherwise, no, 16-core goodness. Otherwise, I'll stick with the 12-core goodness that is the Ryzen 9 5900X. And then eventually definitely get a new and much better GPU. Maybe not a 3090. I know I have a friend where they managed to get a 3090 before it got really scalped because of crypto earlier this year. They were able to snag a 3090 during the holidays, which lucky bastards, they were able to get it at a decent price. Oddly enough, I had the money for it, but at the same time, I didn't want to spend a month's rent on a graphics card. I say that, but I could also do that right now. I'm not planning to. But I want to get something like maybe a 3080, like go 2 iterations above. As much as I would like to get a 3070, I feel like that may not be enough to start editing in 4K, so it'd be cool to at least work with a 3080 instead, at the bare minimum. It'd be cool to get a TI, but that's also about a month's rent. But definitely, I'm going to hit a truck, aren't I? Ooh, I got it. Nice. But definitely, I want to aim for a 3080 and a Ryzen 9. Definitely would take me a couple paychecks to build it up, but those are primarily the 2 parts that I need to make this computer way better. But I'm going to probably focus on the graphics card first and then the CPU, because one is more important than the other, and we'll see which one makes it a lot better to edit in 4K. And then once I know it edits well in 4K, then I'll start editing in 4K, or recording more in 4K. Because even if I try to like edit a 4K video, it chugs like quite heavily, which sucks. Even if I want to put the video to like 1080p, it chugs. Rendering, like pre-rendering a 4K video, even with a 1/4 or 1/8 resolution, which sucks. But 1080p, totally fine. Totally fine to run on this computer, and hence why I'm able to publish the vlogs in like a reasonable time with it. But it'd be cool to go to 4K vlogging, and then after that, realizing it's taking too long, guys, and then I have suddenly a big file, but I have gigabit, so I should be able to upload even a big file like that in a couple minutes. Like, so I realized, and I think I said this last week, but it still surprises me to this day, where I upload, when I start uploading a video, right? So most of my videos are about 1 to 2 gigs, which is a lot in terms of the internet I had before. Before, I only had a 5 megabit upload speed. So with a 1 or 2 gig file, it takes about half an hour to an hour. When I upload that same sort of file here, a 1 2 gig file here, no more than 2 minutes it'd be uploaded and already set for processing, which is insane. Because I am so used to like creating my description and then creating my thumbnail during the upload. Really? What an asshole. Like during upload. Now I'm still trying to finish up my description, trying to find like the extra words that I need to put in my description, and then suddenly I just see at the bottom processing, like, uploaded complete processing HD version. I'm like, what? Holy shit, we're already there. So it's just insane to I love having gigabit internet now. I will miss it if I ever do move here and move out of here and not have gigabit internet in the new place. Because as much as I really love the gigabit internet, but also it'd be cool to find a bigger place in the next once my lease is up. But if I can't find a new place, I'm okay living here because I got that nice internet to work with. And it'd be cool to like definitely start recording 4K videos and whatnot. Really? Fuck it. I'm not dealing with that. Still got an excellent even after so many crashes in the end. Nice. Even though I had a speed run of shit. But, I want to eventually start recording more, so recording more and then maybe recording in 4K and all that fun stuff. So hopefully I'll be able to get new parts for whatever reason. If you want to donate, feel free, but you don't have to. I have a job that I can raise the money for myself. But with that, that's gonna be the end of the stream. I thought I was. I think I took a wee bit too long of a trip, but oh well. I'm already back in California, so hopefully, maybe next stream I'll have one long trip again. I'm planning to get the Wyoming expansion pack. I forgot to get it this week because I just forgot about it. So hopefully next week we'll be going into Wyoming and finally explore more of the map, even though I have yet to explore some roads around here in California, which, ooh, they did improve it a little bit more. Or I just never explored it. I don't think I explored it. That, I still got apparently a bunch in Washington, which is surprising because I've done quite a bit in Colorado. Ooh, this looks fun. Can I drive this one day? I'm hoping someone has a trip from Montrose to Durango, but I would first have to go to a lot of fun roads. I would first have to unlock Wyoming since it's ready. You can see the big blank space. It's ready to open. I guess I have a bunch of other cities to visit. Hopefully, I don't know what next state they're planning to build. Oh, now I do. Texas! I can't wait for Texas. So hopefully next week I will get the Wyoming expansion pack, and then we'll start traveling to Wyoming from where I am in Santa Cruz. But with that, I hope you guys had a fun time watching this stream. It's been a pretty random stream to begin with. I kind of glanced about my week with work because I don't want to share too much. Last thing I need to do is dox myself of like where I work and what I do. And I really don't want to do that just yet. Eventually, once I'm either comfortable talking about it or I'm out of the job, hopefully that's not going to be the case sometime in the near future, but like definitely I do want to talk about it more in the future. But for right now, I'm keeping it like as general as possible. So talked about that and then talked about how I want to do the travel vlogs and realizing that I do need to do more research, but also just have even more fun with it. Try to like find little quirky things along the way. And then potential editing in 4K, but just need new equipment and all that stuff. I can't remember anything between that, the talking about traveling around San Francisco and the Bay Area and upgrading equipment. You already watched it, so. But if you haven't already, follow me on Twitter, follow me on YouTube, or subscribe to me on YouTube if you haven't already, and Instagram. I need to post here. I keep forgetting to post on Instagram. I need to post on Instagram. Maybe I'll do some tonight. In any case, I hope you guys had a fun time watching this vlog. Hope you guys had a fun time watching this stream. Hopefully, I see you guys next time. Definitely, I'll see. Most likely, it's gonna be on. It's gonna probably be on Thursday next week. But if anything, I could always stream this Friday night for like an hour or so. Definitely, it's gonna be like I was planning to do around like an hour 30 minutes, unlike the 2 hours I did last week, which was oops. So, expect around an hour 30 minutes of Truck and Talk from here on out, like this. Okay, I've been rambling too much. Hope you guys have a great day or night, wherever the heck you are, and see you guys next week for more Truck and Talk. This has been Weech. Ugh. See ya. Bye. Bye. Where's the end button?